Good morning students. Class 12th, chapter number 6, applications of derivative, lecture number 8 homework and lecture number 9. So in homework exercise 6.5, 1 to 5 questions were given to you. Let us discuss some questions out of those all. So in question number 1, we have done first part and I have given you other parts for homework. Right, we have also discussed this in one of the examples. Now if I talk of second part, in which it is given as 9x square plus 12x plus 2. Now see, we will try to do completing the square method. So what I see is this is an 3x whole square, okay, plus I can write 2 into 3x. Now I have a square plus 2 into a is there. So what should be b so that it becomes 12x? Now we have 2 into 3x is 3x. So 3x should be multiplied with 2. So the value of b is 2 here. So we will just add square of 2 and subtract square of 2 plus 2 we have. So just to see, we have using this a square plus b square plus 2ab, the three terms these can be combined and can be written as 3x plus 2 whole square. Now minus of 4 plus 2, it will give us minus of 2 minus 2. Now actually this function we have written in this form. Now we know that 3x plus 2 whole square will always be greater than or equal to 0. Now we will subtract 2 both the sides, so we will get 3x plus 2 whole square minus 2 greater than equal to minus 2. We see that this function, this complete is the given function only, right? This is our f of x. It is greater than minus 2. So what do we get from here is that the function value will be either minus 2 or greater than this. So the minimum value is what? Minus 2, and it will go up to infinity, so we can't say anything about the maximum value. So we'll just write no maximum value and the minimum value is minus 2. Right? Similarly, you can go with fourth part of the question. In it, g of x is given as x cube plus 1. Right? So you can again continue with the solution of this as we have done in 3 parts. Clear? Let us discuss another question. Question number 2. So in question number 2 we have already discussed this. Right? We have already discussed this also. Now let us discuss some more parts. Just to see modulus of x plus 1. If I write a minus sign here or I put a minus sign here, it will always be less than or equal to 0. Now I have to add 3 on both the sides, so I get the complete function. So we get 3. So this is what our g of x only, as you can see in the second part. This is g of x only. So g of x is less than equal to 3. So what is the minimum or maximum value from here? We observe that g of x will be either 3 or less than 3. So the maximum value is 3 and there is no minimum value because we don't know up to which value it will go. So the maximum value is 3, all the other values are less than 3. Hence the maximum value is 3. Now similarly, just let us talk of this part. Sine of 4x. We know any angle of sine will have the values between minus 1 to 1. Okay, this I am talking about fourth part. Now what we have to do, first of all, add 3 in it. So sine of 4x plus 3 less than equal to 1 plus 3, and this time also, this side also we have 1 plus minus 1 plus 3. Now solving it, what do we get? Here we will get 2 less than sine of 4x plus 3 less than equal to 4. Now we have to take modulus. So when we take modulus, all the sides we get only positive values. 2 less than equal to sine of 4x plus 3 less than 4. So just see carefully what we have written, that any angle of sine will have the minimum value as minus 1 and maximum value as 1. Then we added 3 in all of them. So when we add 3 in them, we will get 2 here. We will get 4 here. So the minimum value is 2 and the maximum value is 4 from here. Clear? Now similar way you can attempt fifth also. In fifth what you can see is this is a line x plus 1. Right? It is a it will not be a curve, it will be a straight line as the equation of the form y equals mx plus c, right? So here we will not be able to plot that. Suppose I say it is here -1 and suppose it is 1 here, okay, and what is given that -1 and 1 are not included. Suppose here it is. So now on this we can't plot any point for maximum or minimum, so there are no maximum or minimum values for fifth part. Let us now go another question. In question number 3 we have discussed first and second part. Here we had to go for local maxima and local minima and also the local minimum and maximum values. So let us just discuss a third part and then we'll discuss one more part of it. So h of x is given as, we can just write it on a separate page, sin x plus cos x. H of x is equal to sin of x plus cos of x. So we are going to differentiate it. H dash x will be equal to differentiation of sin x will be cos of x minus differentiation of cos x will be minus sin x. Right, now we are going to put it as equal to 0. Cos x minus sin x equals 0. We get sin x equals cos of x, that implies tangent of x equals 1 and x will be equal to pi by 4. Now the interval given is that x values are lying between 0 to pi by 2. Hence pi by 4 is belonging to this interval only. And now finding second order derivative, x by 4 is the critical point or the stationary point for us. Now we will calculate second order derivative. Cos x differentiation will be minus of sin x minus sin x differentiation will be cos of x. Now we see that if we take minus common we get sin x plus cos of x, and putting pi by 4 in this we get minus of 1 divided by root 2 plus 1 divided by root 2, so which comes out to be minus of 2 divided by root 2, or we can write it as minus of under root 2, which is less than 0. Now if the second order derivative is less than 0, pi by 4 is a point of x equals pi by 4 is a point of local maxima. Right, now we have to calculate local maximum value, that will be h of pi by 4. So sin of pi by 4 will be 1 by root 2 plus cos of pi by 4 is also 1 by root 2. We get 2 by root 2, which is root 2 only. Hence the maximum value, local maximum value is under root of 2 and x equals pi by 4 is the point of local maxima. So I think you can solve question number 3 other parts as well like this only. Now we will discuss question number 4. Here comes question number 4, where we have to tell or we have to prove that the following function do not have maxima or minima. So first of all let us see about the first part, which is f of x equals e to the power x. Differentiating it we get e to the power x only. Now equating it to 0. Now can you think of any value of x, whether positive or negative, among all the real numbers that makes e to the power x as 0? It is not possible for any real number of any real value of x. So there is no maxima or minima. Similarly, if we find out g of x equal to log of x, the differentiation of g dash x will be 1 by x. Now if you put 1 by x is equal to 0, we get x is equal to 1 by 0, which is infinity and not defined. Hence here also there exists no maxima or minima. Now in the third question, in the third part we will differentiate the function first. H of x is given as equal to x cube plus x square plus x plus 1. H dash x will come as 3x square plus 2x plus 1. Now to find out the factors or the values of x, we will use quadratic formula. So x will be equal to minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Minus b value is 2 here, minus 2 plus minus under root of 2 square will be 4, minus 4 multiplied with a is 3 and c is 1 divided by 2 multiplied with a is 3 here. So we get minus 2 plus minus under root of 4 minus 12 divided by 6. Now if you look carefully, it will give us minus 8. So square root, inside the root, negative sign is coming up, so it will give us imaginary values. Hence there are no real values of x that can satisfy this and make it equal to 0. Hence no maxima and no minima for this also. Now we will discuss the another question, question number 5. In question number 5, we have to find the absolute maximum value and absolute minimum value of the following function in the given intervals. Now function is suppose x cube. So for first question I am discussing f of x equals x cube. If you differentiate it, you get it as 3x square, and putting it as equal to 0, we get x value as 0. So we have three values. Whenever it is written absolute maximum and absolute minimum, we check for the interval values also. That means a and b also. So we have three values, minus 2, 2 and 0. So we will find out our function value at these three values. F of minus 2 will be minus 8, f of 2 will be 8, and f of 0 will be 0. Now out of these three values, this is the absolute minimum value, right, and 8 is the absolute maximum value. Clear? So like this you have to find out. That means you have to include the interval values also and the critical point that you get. Similarly you are going to check for second part. So I can show you for the second part. The third and fourth part can be done by you. The second part is sin x plus cos x. So f of x is sin x plus cos x. X belongs to 0 comma pi, right? You can again see it is in the closed interval 0 comma pi. Now let us differentiate it. F dash x will be equal to sin x differentiation will be cos x, and of course it will be minus of sin x. Equating it to 0, cos x minus sin x equals 0. We get tangent of x is equal to 1. Now it comes out as 1 when x is equal to pi by 4. That is only for the first quadrant, right? Now for the second quadrant, if we calculate when between 0 to pi, it does not happen that 10 becomes 1. Now we have three values. One is 0, one is pi by 4, another is pi. We have these three values. We will calculate f of 0. So putting x is equal to 0, sin 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1. Then f of pi by 4 we will calculate. So it will be 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2, which is 2 by root 2, and actually it is under root of 2. Now we will calculate f of pi. So sin pi is 0, cos pi is minus 1. Now we see the minimum value is minus 1 and the maximum value is under root of 2. This is how we are going to calculate. So these are our absolute maximum and absolute minimum values. Clear? I think other two parts can be done by you easily. Now we are going to discuss the next question. In question number 6, we have to find out maximum profit that a company can make if the profit function is given by this. We will be considering as a simple function. So we will first find out p dash x, that means the first order derivative of it. 41 differentiation will be 0, minus 72 minus 36x. We will now equate it to 0. Equating it to 0, we get the value of x. Minus 72 equals 36x, and solving it we get x is equal to minus of 2. Now we will calculate second order derivative to show that at this point the profit is maximum, and it will be proved only if the differentiation comes, second order derivative comes less than 0. So calculating the second order derivative we get minus of 36, which is less than 0. Hence x equal to minus 2 is the point of maxima. Now maximum profit will be calculated by putting the value of x as minus 2. So 41 minus 72 multiplied with minus 2 minus 18 into minus 2 square. So we will be getting it as 41 plus 2 2s are 4, 2 7s are 14, 144 minus 18 multiplied with 72. Now we can solve it and can find out the maximum profit. It will come out as 113, and this is the maximum profit that a company can make if this is the profit function. Now let us discuss another question. In this question we have to find out both the maximum and minimum value of the function on this interval 0, 3, where 0 and 3 are included. Now first of all we will differentiate this function. So f dash x will become, I am considering this as f of x, right? Now f dash x will become 12x cube minus 24x square plus 24x minus 48. Clear? Taking 12 common in it, we have x cube minus 2x square plus 2x minus 4. Now we will be equating it to 0. So we have x cube minus 2x square plus 2x minus 4 is equal to 0. In these two terms, x square is common. We will be left with x minus 2 inside the bracket plus 2 multiplied with x minus 2 equals 0. So we have two factors, x square plus 2 and x minus 2. From here we get two values of x. So from here x square equal to minus 2, this is not possible. It will give imaginary answer. So the only critical point is x equals 2. So we have now three values which are 0, 1, 0, 2 and 3. So now f of 0 if we calculate, and we will be calculating f of 2 and f of 3. We are going to calculate these three values. The value that you get minimum will become the minimum value, and the value that you get maximum out of these three will become the maximum value of the function given. Right? I think you can complete this question. Now let us go to another question. So here comes question number 8. In this question, we have to tell at what points in the interval 0, 2 pi does the function sin 2x attains its maximum value. So function given is sin of 2x. F of x is sin of 2x. We will first differentiate it. We get sin of 2x differentiation will be cos of 2x and 2x differentiation will be 2. Now equating it to 0, cos of 2x equals 0, we get cos of 2x equals 0. Cos of 2x will be equal to cos of pi by 2. Now writing the general formula, which is if cos x equals cos y, then the general solution of x is 2n pi plus minus pi. Also, just see carefully, we can have pi by 4, 3 pi by 4, 5 pi by 4, 7 pi by 4 as the critical points, including 0, 2 pi. So at these values you are going to check and see where you are going the maximum and where you are only for maximum value we have to check. So out of these value we will place them in the function and will check on which point we are getting the maximum value. Clear? Now let us do another question. Question number 9. What is the maximum value of this function? We have to tell what is the maximum value of this function. So f of x is given as sin x plus cos x. Differentiating it, we get sin x differentiation will be cos x, and of cos x it will be minus of sin x. Equating it to 0, we get tan x equal to 1. Hence x is equal to pi by 4, which is in the first quadrant, but now there is no boundation, so we have to check for all 0 to 2 pi. Right, now checking for that, we know at 5 pi by 4 also the tan becomes 1. So we have the values as 0, pi by 4, 5 pi by 4 and 2 pi. Out of these four values, by putting these values here in the function f of x, you have to just check at which point you are getting the maximum value. Clear? You can do this now. So let us proceed with another question. Question number 10. Here we have to find the maximum value of the same function is 1 only, first in this interval and then is this interval we have to tell. So the only thing that you need to do is you will differentiate it. Just to see, you will get 2 3s are 6x square minus 24. This is what we are going to get. Now in the interval 1, 3, first of all we will take 6 common, we'll get x square minus 4 equals 0. This implies x square is equal to 4 and x is equal to plus minus 2. So plus 2 will be included in this interval. So we have three values 1, 2 and 3, and minus 2 is included in this interval, minus 3, minus 2 and minus 1. So these three values and these three values. So first of all you have to check in between these three values, on these three values and then on these three values. So we have to tell maximum value in this interval. So out of these three values, when you place in your function this one, you have to check at which point you are getting the maximum value. Similarly, out of these three values you have to place in the function and see which is the maximum value. So for two different intervals you have to tell different values. In this interval which is the maximum value, in this interval which is the maximum value. Clear? Let us go with another question. Question number 11. In question number 11 it is said that we have to tell at x equals 1 the function attains its maximum value. That means the differentiation should be 0. On the interval 0, 2 we have to find out the value of a. Let us first differentiate it. F dash x will be equal to 4x cube minus 62 multiplied with 2 is 124x plus a, right? Now it is given that at x equals 1 the function attains its maximum value. That means the differentiation of function at point 1 will be maximum, will be equal to 0. This is how we calculate the critical point, right? Now f dash 1, this is f dash, right? So we will just put 1 in it. F 4 into 1 cube minus 124 into 1 plus a equals 0. So we have 4 minus 124 plus a equals 0, and we get a as equal to 120. So the maximum value or the value of a will be 120, at which the function attains its maximum value. Clear? Let us go with another question. So here comes question number 12. Again this is the same kind of question as we have discussed earlier. Here only one more thing is included, which is x. So for sin 2x we have already done. So you just have to differentiate it, find out the critical point by equating the differentiated value as equal to 0, and then you have to check on all the values. Okay, so this is your homework part. Next question, question number 13. So this is an important question, just pay attention. Find two numbers whose sum is 24. So we will consider two numbers as x and y, and their sum is given as 24. Okay, whose product is as large as possible. So we will represent the product as xy. So as large as possible, that means we have to maximize the product. Clear? We have to get the maximum value of product. So just to see, we will be differentiating this function only, which we have to maximize. Now product equals x multiplied with what we can place instead of y, 24 minus x, so that the function is there only in one variable. 24 minus x, this can be written as 24x minus x square. So let us differentiate. We can write it as this is a function of x now. So p dash x will be 24 minus 2x. Equating it to 0, we get 24 equal to 2x and x is equal to 12. Clear? To prove that 12 is the point of maxima, the second order derivative should be shown as negative. Second order derivative, when we calculate of 24 minus 2x, we just get it as minus of 2, which is less than 0. Hence x equals 12 is the point of maxima. So the y value will be 24 minus x, which is 12. So we get this also as 12. Hence what are the two numbers? 12 and 12. Only then the product can be maximum. Clear? Let us go with another question. Here also we have to find two positive numbers. I am just going to give you a hint. Two positive numbers. So if you get answer, as a negative for x or y, you don't have to take it. You have to ignore it, because we want positive numbers only. Now such that x plus y, the sum is given as 60. Okay, and x into y cube is maximum. So we can take it as product x into y cube. This we have to prove as maximum. So again the same kind of question as discussed in question number 13, right? So you can just convert it in one form. Like you can write instead of x 60 minus y, and it is a y cube. So now it is a function of y only. So you get 60y cube minus y to the power 4, which is p of y. You will be finding out the first order derivative, equate it to 0, find out the values of b, and then at that values prove the second order derivative as less than 0. Negative it should come. Then only those point will be the maximum. So you may get more than one value. You have to check at which value your second order derivative is coming as negative. That particular point will be the point of maxima. And then you can find out the two numbers. Clear? Let us start with another question. Question number 15. It is also the same kind of question. Two numbers x and y, such that their sum is given to you, x plus y is given to you as 35, and the product x square into y to the power 5. This you have to prove as maximum. So first of all, you can convert out of these two. This is a two variable, so we can convert it into one variable. Either you substitute x in terms of y or y in terms of x, and then you have to differentiate it and follow the same procedure as we have done in 13th and 14th question. So what you are going to do, and I can just hint you about question 16 also. Two positive numbers, sum is given as 16 and sum of whose cubes is minimum. This is, we can represent it with s. So this is what we have to prove as minimum. For minimum, the second order derivative should be greater than 0. So again you replace them, consider it as a one variable equation, and then differentiate it, equate it to 0, find out the values, then find out second order derivative and put those values in that and check at which value it is coming as greater than 0 for minimum, right? And you can then find the two numbers. So for homework, as I have given you hint about many questions, and many questions we have completely solved. So for homework part, you are going to complete now 1 to 15, 1 to 16 actually, 1 to 16. Exercise 6.5, 1 to 16, all questions should be there in your notebook, and please ask doubts as much as possible because this is really important. These 16 questions were the basic ones. Now after which all the questions are of 6 marks. So do let me know for doubts, and for more videos like this, do subscribe the channel and keep liking the videos.